to episode 5 of RAMAKKOS Gear Talk. This week we're going to be talking about canoes. Right now we are here down at Silver Beach and we are doing a test paddle right now. It's Saturday morning. We do test paddles on Thursday night at 7 p.m. and Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Let you guys try out those boats before you come in to buy them. This week we're going to be talking about material selection for your canoe and hull shapes for your canoe and how they affect what you buy and how they affect how you're going to paddle. Stay tuned and see what's going on. We're here on Lake Kagwan and we're going to talk about some canoes. So I actually have one of my canoes here today. It's actually not my canoe. I'll say that, but it's actually my friend's canoe. But I'm borrowing this canoe today to show you. This is the Mad River Royal X Explorer 16. Okay, let me preface this. You can't actually get this canoe anymore, but it's probably one of the better all-around canoes. So I'm going to use this one to explain to you some of the features of canoes that'll help you to look at canoes. I'm pretty sure that almost anyone at some point in time or another, whether at a kid's camp or whether at a family's camp, has paddled a canoe some point in time. Usually when you're younger, and usually when certain things about canoes don't ever actually really make a difference to you. But today we're going to hopefully go through some key points that are going to help you look at buying a canoe if that's what you're looking to do. So the two different things we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about material selection and the hull shape and how those affect how you're going to be able to paddle. So first let's talk about the material selection. The market right now actually isn't super great. There's not a whole lot of material selections, but you can still find a canoe that's pretty much exactly what you're looking for. What the most common canoes right now are composites. What a composite is it's a glass fiber, basically it's a cloth, and they put it into a mold and they either put an epoxy or a resin in it. And that's what most people would know as fiberglass or Kevlar canoes. Those are by far the most popular, even in general have been by far the most popular canoes sold. Mainly for lightweight and for durability and for easy to repair. If you're looking at something like this, if you get a hole in it and you want to repair it, you probably are going to duct tape it while you're out camping, but then when you get back you have to take it somewhere professional and get plastic welded. If you've got a Kevlar or fiberglass canoe, you can literally go to your local Canadian Tire, pick up a little patch and put it on yourself for a couple bucks, which is pretty awesome. The biggest thing with the composite canoes though is they're light. This canoe here is 64 pounds and it's considered a pretty light canoe, but most fiberglass and Kevlars you're going to see in that 55, 60 pound range, and you can get them ultralight Kevlars all the way down to about 42 pounds for basically a very similar construction canoe. The other types of canoes that are quite common are aluminum canoes. You're going to see those in things like sports paddles, which are really common. Mainly for people doing fishing and camping. They're not a good river boat because, again, sort of like Royal X, if you get a tear in an aluminum boat, you're kind of out of luck, unless you know somebody that can do some aluminum welding repairs on it, but you're pretty much stuck with the whole duct tape thing for short term anyways, and hopefully not too long term. So that's your main constructions. You're looking at fiberglass, Kevlar, and aluminum. There is some new different types of materials coming out on the market that also us at RAMAKKOS and other canoe companies are looking into. One of the newest ones that you're going to kind of want to keep up with is called Basalta Negra. It's kind of like the composites that we talked about. It's like a double layup. It's a basalt fiber, like a fiberglass fiber cloth, and it's got an Negra injection in it. What a Negra is, it's basically a plastic. So what Royal X is it's a couple layers of plastic that are all laminated together. So this is kind of the newest version of a Kevlar canoe, or a Royal X canoe, sorry, which everyone knows as the river boat, right? So hopefully the technologies in there are going to advance a little bit and you will see them at our store pretty soon actually. But over and all, what material selection really allows you to do is allows you to determine how you're going to paddle, right? So by that it means, are you going to run it up on rocks? Are you going to be really delicate with it? Can you pick it up? Are you strong enough to put this thing on top of your car, right? So that's what the material selection really helps you do. It's not going to affect how straight you go down the lake. It's really going to affect how you use it and how much enjoyability you get out of it. But hull construction, on the other hand, hull construction makes a huge difference for how you paddle it. The biggest thing that really is going to affect your canoe is rocker. So what rocker is if you take a look at this canoe right now. This canoe is considered a moderate rocker. So moderate rocker is about 2.5 inches of rocker. What it is based on the flat plane. So if you were to take a flat plane right across the dock, it's how much the front, the tip, and the tail come up off the dock. It's how much kind of concave the boat has to the bottom of it. So what rocker does is no rocker, which would be a tripping boat. So basically flat hull on the bottom, it goes very straight down the lake. So that's a kind of boat that you're going to go for a couple days camping, but you're also probably going on flat water and you're also going across long distance straight directions. It's not a very good river boat for going around little curvy like rivers because it doesn't like to turn, right? That center keel is keeping the boat planted. It's keeping it in a straight direction, but it's a very quick boat. Most of the time you're going to see those in a Kevlar construction or an ultralight fiberglass construction. Not too often you'll see it in a Royal X or an aluminum. There's also boats like this one. This is called an Explorer hull from Mad River, so you can get this in a couple different materials. This is kind of your best all around, right? So what you're getting is you're getting high gunnels, so it's a deep boat. It's fairly wide. It's about 31 inches wide, which is pretty standard for a canoe. You're not going to see anything super narrow like a kayak at like 24 or 25 inches. And the length of the boat also makes a big difference. So in general, if you're just doing something for around your camp, you're not going to go too long. 12 feet is going to be an okay boat. 14 foot, better. It's going to paddle quite a bit straighter. It's going to paddle quite a bit quicker. If you're doing tripping, 16 foot is probably the smallest you want to go. Based along also with carrying capacity, longer the boat, the more stuff you can put in, right? The more weight you can put in it. So a 16 foot boat will give you that capacity to do it. So the other parts that we're going to talk to you about is the overall kind of design of the hull. So this hull is very basic. It's a symmetric hull, basically meaning the boat is kind of like open like an envelope. If you were to peel an envelope open, it's going to come up like this. So that's a very basic construction, which means that if you're paddling it by yourself, you can flip it around, sit in the bow seat, and paddle it backwards, and you're going to have completely no problem because the boat is symmetric, completely symmetric. The other types of boats you're going to find are asymmetric. So where usually at the stern, they'll bubble out quick and then kind of taper back into the front. Those are good for long distance tripping, good for if you're going to take more than one person. If you're going to take 3 people and you distribute the load a little better, most of the time we have a sliding rear stern seat. And just they paddle a little bit straighter, but they're not as good of an all-around boat. They're definitely not very easy to paddle solo person or by themselves. So that's the basics of canoeing. There's not a whole lot into them, but when you get out and you actually try different canoes, you'll notice like rocker's the biggest thing that's going to make a difference for you because it's the ability of you to go straight down the lake, which is really going to help you, and material selection. So I think I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to go for a canoe pad. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos. Also go on our Facebook page and subscribe there. You'll see the rest of our videos coming out. If you're lucky, we'll have a little video coming up on some canoe paddles, something like this little baby here. So, see you later.